check if it was on. But hey guys, Seabasscrew here with another movie review. Today's review is going to be about the movie Rudy. Now, if you don't know what Rudy is about, it's basically it's a true story based on a kid named Rudy who wants to make it big in University of Notre Dame. That's not the whole plot, but that's basically the overview of what he wants to do. He wants to get into Notre Dame University and play college football. That's what his dream is. That's basically what the overview of the movie is. But I'm going to go through the plot. Okay. The plot in this movie is Rudy starts out as a kid, and he's hated by one of his brothers, and also one of his brothers are, supporting him as a brother, a sibling, more or less. But yeah, his brother just picks on him so much in this movie. Even when he's in high school, and even when he makes it to the college, he does not care. But what really is good about this movie is just the way the story is presented and how it's told and flows throughout the whole movie. First off, he's in high school, and in high school he has no good grades at all. I mean, he is failing terribly right now. Well, I'm not saying terribly, but he just has bad grades. And because of that, he can't get into that university, which really puts him down. Then later on, he gets his girlfriend. That she's about to buy a house later on because she wants to get on started with her own life and get married. And what happens later on is Rudy goes and works in a steel mill for 4 years to try to get that money to get into the university, because his parents were not going to pay for his tuition, because I think they were a low-income family, if I'm not sure. Yeah, but his parents can't pay for that tuition, and plus he doesn't have scholarship because, he doesn't have good grades. So he has to work in a steel mill for 4 years to make it to university. That's not it, though. That's not it. His friend dies in the movie. One of his friends die. I'm not going to say who, because that would give away a spoiler. But one of his friends die in this movie. And after the funeral, he rushes straight to the university because he's figured out what he's going to do. He's got his whole life planned ahead of him. So he walks all the way to the university, walks towards the stadium, and later on he is told that he's trespassing on there and everything. So he makes a deal with one of the workers out in the stadium to see if he can work for free, and just to at least gain respect from this one guy, from this one worker here. But he says, I have a team, we can't do this, we don't need you. End of story. But he keeps telling him that he will work for them, because he wants to be on that stadium. But that's not it. That's not it, though. He can't get into the college. So how does he get in? This is where he goes to the priest. He goes to the priest down in the church, the local church close to the university. And he talks about the fact that Father, I need to fulfill my dream. Can you please help me? I need some advice on what I'm going to do. He's like, I've got a deal for you. You go to a community college for 2 semesters and get good grades, then they will let you in. So, what happens later on, he goes into the community college. He starts just studying like crazy. He wants to get into this college. He's just studying, and he makes a new friend who, this guy is desperate for love. He is desperate for it. I mean, he tells him that I will help you on your work, because you can't do it alone. I will help you on your work if you help me get a girl. So he does, and then later on he gets these letters from the university. But what keeps going on, there's a lot of stuff in this movie. It's really hard to explain without getting anything over. But he gets the letters in the mail in the office. He gets a letter from the office, and then later on he gets three, just so many letters from the university saying, "We don't need you here." Alright. But anyway, he keeps pushing himself to the limit. He has been studying for so long, and the university just doesn't want him there. They're just being as picky as possible, because you know how college can be, because you want to go into this specific college. He just wants to go to this specific college, but they won't let him in. But he keeps trying and trying and trying and trying, until sooner or later, they have to let him in. They have no choice. They let him in. And later on, he gets into the football team, and he has fulfilled his dream. But there's still more to that, and it's very complicated to explain. I can't explain it any further on than that. But it's basically, this one kid, Rudy, just wants to get into the football team in Notre Dame. And it's his dream, ever since he was a kid. And this movie is a true story. Very true to its storytelling. Let's talk about the characters. We have Sean Astin, who plays as Rudy. Rudy is obviously the main character. We have one guy who's a priest who tells Rudy, gives him at least a little bit of advice, but not too much, because it's usually his choice, his advice. Then you have the desperate guy for love, who tries to help out Rudy with his work and try to get him into the university. And then you have the worker, one of the workers. Now there's still minor characters in there, but the supporting cast is very good. The guy who plays the desperate guy, he's really good. The guy who plays the worker is really good too. And there's so many quotes in this movie that you will just keep saying in your head over and over and over. And my favorite part of this movie is when it shows Rudy twice. One as a kid and one as an adult. One as a kid when he's reciting all these plays on the television with Notre Dame's game. That's probably one of my favorite parts. There are so many scenes in this movie that will really touch your heart and nearly put you in tears. Nearly put you in tears. Nearly put you in tears. If you don't cry in this movie, I don't know what to say. I mean, you must be very hard to not entertain. It is very hard not to cry in this movie, because there are so many emotional scenes, so many emotional scenes in this movie that it is I can't summarize this movie long enough, because it's just an amazing drama, and it's got really good twists and turns to the plot. The characters are likable, and you feel sorry for this guy, but you like him. You like this character. You love Rudy. You keep cheering, "Rudy, Rudy, Rudy." And that's probably my favorite part too. When everybody in the stands, including the sidelines, one of the football players, the coach won't let Rudy in, but he will be on the sidelines just watching the game. And everyone starts shouting, "Rudy, Rudy." Everyone starts shouting it, and it is such an emotional scene. Such a phenomenal scene. There are so many scenes of phenomenal movies, just like the Apollo 13 movie, where their re-entry scene. The re-entry scene is so emotional. It is so good. But that's a different movie. But this movie here is a very outstanding football drama. I mean, it's sort of like Remember the Titans, and I think I've never seen Rocky, but as far as the reviews go, some people say it's better than Rocky. And I would kind of agree with them on that. I would really kind of agree with them, because the casting in this movie, the acting in this movie is brilliant. It's just a great movie to watch. It is so emotional, so motivating, so inspirational. If you want to be inspired and you want to, feel inspiration in your heart, and if you have a heart in this movie, you will definitely enjoy this movie, because It's so heart-wrenching. It really is. It's so hard to even come any close to tears. It's very hard not to cry. It's just the acting, the directing, just so beautifully directed. And the script was just spot on. It's one of those movies which is very rare for that to happen. I mean, it's one of those movies where it's rare for them to... It's just an amazing movie. Just go watch it. Go watch it. I can't say it any more than that. Just watch this movie from beginning to end, and you will see what I'm talking about. But anyway, this is Seabasscrew here with the movie of Rudy, movie review. Definitely see this movie. I'm telling you now, no disappointments. This movie it gets an A. It gets an A, brilliant A-list movie. That's all I got to say about this movie. See you guys later.